Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shakha and I welcome you to my channel. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been sending my way, and I hope that you guys are enjoying my videos and finding them useful and hopefully learning from them. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how mostly INFJs can be very intense, very filled with passion, with a lot of joy and a lot of energy usually. I know I've been told over and over again that sometimes people get scared by me because I have a lot of energy. Until I don't, obviously, when I get sick or I burn myself out or I overdo things, and I know at that point I just kind of go into the spiral of just being so listless and so lethargic that I just have to go to sleep, right? And so we do have a lot of intensity until we burn ourselves out. But I've noticed this about myself, and I know a bunch of you have said this as well, is that if you are interested in something, you are the most passionate person on the planet, right? The most passionate person, like full of intensity, full of energy, that people would be scared of you. But if you're not interested in something or someone or anything else that's going on around you, all of a sudden you become very deliberate and very monotone and very listless and very lethargic. Now, sometimes it has to do with the fact that, you're burning yourself out. So that's the reason you're so like, ugh. But a lot of times it has to do with the fact that perhaps you're surrounded by people that you're like, this person is an absolute idiot. I can't be bothered to spend any energy on them. I can't be bothered to spend any time on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend like I'm really boring. And so when I pretend that I'm really boring, then this person's going to walk away from me. And then I don't have to deal with them anymore. I do this all the time, actually. A lot of people, a lot of my friends will actually get surprised by me because I'm so energetic around them. I love them because I love them and I want to spend time with them. And I'm so like rah kind of thing around them. And all of a sudden they'll bring a new person into the fold, or there'll be a new individual that walks in and starts talking to them. And all of a sudden my energy just like clenches. I feel, I don't like this person. I don't know why. I can't explain it. And in the past I'd try to explain it, like maybe it's there. And now I don't. I trust my gut. I trust my energy. It tells me that I don't like this person. I know I'm not going to like this person. There's something off about them. I don't try to explain it anymore. I just know it. And so then I'll just go into this deliberate monotone way of doing things where I'm not energetic, I'm not intense, I'm boring. And so as soon as I get that way, the person looks at me and they're like, they perhaps get the sign or the signal, or my friend gets the sign and signal. Usually it's my friend. They're like, okay, obviously you're not interested in this person. And then I'll say goodbye and walk away, right? Or my friend will say goodbye and we'll both walk away. Hopefully that's the case. I hate walking away from my friend, but if that's going to be the case, then I walk away and I'll go on doing my own thing. Sometimes my friend is like, no, this person's awesome. I don't know why you don't like them. You need to spend more time with them. The more you spend time with them, the more you're going to love him or her. And I think to myself, maybe that could be true. I mean, my first impressions sometimes have been wrong, and there is a possibility that I might fall in love with this person eventually. But do I really want to spend the time trying to figure this out, or do I want to spend time with people that I really care about already? And usually my answer is like, no, I don't want to spend time or energy trying to figure out if this person's awesome or not. My first instinct, my gut was telling me there's something off about them. I really don't want to figure out why I felt this way. I don't want to deliberate over it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to judge over it. I just don't want to spend time on that question. And so I'll walk away. So if you are dating an INFJ, or if you're around an INFJ, or you're interested in an INFJ, this is one of the clearest signs that you can get that they're not interested in you, or that they are annoyed by you, or that they find you boring, or that they are not interested. Okay? Is that they might be very intense and passionate around other people, but as soon as it comes to you, they might become very monotone, very deliberate, very boring, very in a way where they're like the complete opposite of what they normally are. Now, if you haven't seen them normally, you might think that this is normal for them. But my suggestion to all people who want to date INFJs is to observe them around their friends. In fact, like most of my dates or most of my relationships have come through friends, because that person has observed me around my friends, people that I'm comfortable with, and they see my passion, they see my intensity, they see my joy, and that's what they fall in love with, right? But this new person comes in and then I clamp down, I shut myself off. I'm not that intense, beautiful person in front of them because I'm afraid at first, right? Not afraid of them, but afraid of showing my intensity, showing my beauty, my passion, because I don't know how they're going to take it. Because I know in the past when I've shown my intensity or passion, people have shut me down saying that you're too intense, you're too much for me to handle. Stop doing that or I'm going to walk away. And then they walk away, right? And so I'm really careful about the people I show my intensity and my passion to. Very, very few people in the world actually show my intensity to. And if I do, that means that I trust you. And if you see me in my my normal self, then you're lucky because there's very few people that see that, right? As you guys know how it is being an INFJ and showing your true self. Very few people will actually get to see that passionate, intense, true self of yours, that silly self that makes jokes and runs around and plays and does all that stuff. Very few people on the planet get to see that. Most people will see that deliberate, monotone, that boring, lazy, lethargic self of ours because we're afraid to show our true selves to other people. Now, as time goes on, I've learned that people do fall in love with our true selves. I was always afraid that they're going to hate my true self because I've had experience with that. But that's actually a really good test now for me. So I always show my true self now all the time, as much as possible, unless I'm in a church or some place where I can't be rah, 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 rah. Mostly I'm very intense and passionate. La, la, la. I'm like, oh, all this energy, right? I don't know. I do sing a lot and I do hum a lot. Maybe that's where the la, la, la came from. Anyways, so I do show a lot of my intense, passionate, that side of me to most people almost all people that I meet, even if they're new. Because I feel like that's kind of like a culling method. So if I show my true self to you and you behave like an idiot, then I know that you're not going to be privy to it anymore, that you're not going to be part of my circle anymore, and that we're never going to be friends. And it's a really good way of culling people out. Now, what I used to do in the past is that I used to protect other people from myself. Why? Why am I protecting them from? They're adults. All the people around me are adults. And the children they all love INFJs anyways. They love us. They love me, so I have nothing to worry about. I never have to protect myself or pretend to be someone else around children. So if they're adults, then why do I need to pretend to be something else? Because they're adults. If they don't like me, they can walk away. If they don't like anything I'm doing, they can walk away. Why do I have to pretend to be someone else? And you guys know my deliberate practice, my constant practice with these videos is to show you that the way that we normally do things is that we protect other people from us. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to hide ourselves in order to protect other people. They can protect themselves. They can walk away. They can cut us off. They can pretend like they're not friends with us anymore. They can do whatever they need to do. They're adults, right? We don't need to protect them from us. What we do need to do, though, is be our authentic self as much as possible. It's so important because I'm telling you guys, all of that stuff that you guys are looking for, all that beauty, all that joy, all that creativity, all that ideal living, all that self-actualization, all of that lies on the other side of being authentic. As long as you're being authentic, that will all come to you. As long as you're not being authentic, all of that will stay far away from you. And I'm telling you guys, it's so important because I know I've had so much evidence of this. Just a quick evidence of these videos. I used to do these videos in the past, but I did them in a way where I thought I was supposed to do them that way. I did them in a way where I was like, okay, this is how other people are doing it, so I'm going to do it like that too. And obviously, they were a big disaster, a huge zero fat failure, right? And so I decided, okay, I'm sick of it. I'm just going to show my true self. And I started doing these videos where I was just talking about stuff that's important to me, stuff that I'm interested in, that perhaps no one else on the planet is interested in. I don't care. I'm just doing it for me, right? And so I started doing these videos and I started talking about it. And people made fun of me at first. They're like, who's going to listen to these videos about INFJs? No one cares. I'm like, yeah, maybe you're right, but I'm learning a lot from it and I'm enjoying myself. And isn't that the whole point of this? So, eventually they stopped talking to me about that stuff. But they did make fun of me, and I used to think, like, are they right? Maybe I shouldn't be. But no, the more authentic I was, the more I started doing the stuff that really mattered to me, the more successful I became. Right? And I know you guys have probably heard this a billion times already, but it's so important because this is a lesson that I want to teach you over and over and over and over and over again. All that you're looking for, all of that stuff, all that golden, beautiful, gorgeous stuff that you're looking for, the ideal life, your self-actualization, your passion-filled life, making money from your passions, all that stuff, all that beautiful stuff that you're looking for, as an INFJ, as a person, is on the other side of that authentic life that you might lead. But the authentic life has to come first. We think that, once I get all that stuff, then I'm going to start living authentically. But that doesn't work. You have to live authentically first, and then you get all that stuff, right? It's ironic the way the world is set up. It's so interesting how you never get what you want to get until you become the person that is worthy of getting that stuff, right? Same thing with fame and fortune, like $1 million. A lot of people are like, I want $1 million. And I'm like, you're not going to get the $1 million unless you become that person worthy of getting that $1 million, which means that you have to become a $1 million person before you get that $1 million, right? And so it doesn't work that way. You don't get the $1 million and then become that $1 million person, right? Lotteries might work that way, but still, you guys know most people who win the lottery lose that money within a few months. So what's the point of that? Because they weren't the $1 million person. You can't get the money randomly and then become that person. You have to receive, or you have to become that person. You have to become that $1 million human being. I'm not saying that there's a certain kind of person that only can become that. Anyone can become it. You have to do the deliberate practice. You have to be consistent. You have to teach yourself. You have to grow, blah, 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 right? All right. And so I hope this makes sense to you guys. I really, really, really wanted you guys to understand this. It's really important that you become that authentic person. Really, really important that you become that person before you start looking for everything else around it, everything else surrounding it or connected to it. Okay? Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.